Hi, and today we're going to be finding the derivative using the product rule. Now this builds upon the power rule that I did in the previous video. I'm just going to give you a quick explanation of what the product rule actually is in calculus. So we have, this is the official definition right here that we can use as a template. We have the derivative in respect to x of f of x times g of x is equal to g of x times f prime of x, which just means the derivative of f prime of x plus f of x times g prime of x. Very simple. All you have to do is just remember this as second times the derivative of the first plus first times the derivative of the second. So second times derivative of the first plus first times derivative of the second. Now I'm just going to show you really quick what that means with these few problems below. We have 6x squared times x squared plus 2. Now you just have to find the derivative. It's two separate functions basically is what you're multiplying here. So we have second x squared plus 2 times derivative of the first, which would be, this would technically be f of x, 12x, that's just 12x, plus first, which would be 6x squared, times derivative of the second, so it would be 2x. So then that's it for that. And then we can simplify it to 12x, 2x squared plus 2, plus 12x to the third. Now this is the derivative, the first derivative of this equation right here. Simple enough. Now the rest, basically we're doing the same thing with the rest of these here. So we have, for the next one, x to the third plus 7x minus 1 times 5x plus 2. Alright, so we do second, I'll put it down here, I won't be able to fit it, 5x plus 2 times derivative of the first, so it would be 3x squared plus 7. Alright, simple. Then we just take f of x, which would be this, plus x to the third plus 7x minus 1 times derivative of the second, which would technically just be 5. So then you could distribute this over, you could FOIL this, but usually I would distribute this into here. But this is technically the full derivative of, the first derivative of, oops, right there, of this right here. So it would be, just to recap, we have second, right here, times derivative of the first, plus first times derivative of the second. And then this is the, using the product rule, this is the actual derivative right here. Oh, oops. Alright. So you can just more complicated here. So we have second, 3x to the third minus 4x plus 5 times derivative of the first, which would be 12x squared plus 2, plus first, 4x to the third plus 2x plus 3 times derivative of the second. So if I can fit this in, it'd be 9x squared minus 4. Hold on. Alright, simple enough. And then you could technically just FOIL this out again. It'd be a lot of extra work you probably wouldn't have to do, depending on your teacher. So just to recap on this one, we have second, this is the second part of, this is g of x, second times the derivative of the first, plus first times derivative of the second. So this is the derivative of the second right here. And this is the first derivative of this right here. And that sums it up for simple equations of the product rule. Remember, it's always second times the derivative second times the derivative of the first plus first times derivative of the second. Just keep repeating that in your head. If you remember that, you'll be able to solve any product rule equations, as long as you remember all of your your rules, of course, but that's pretty much it for the product rule. Alright, if there's any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. It's a pleasure to help you with calculus. I mean, pass on my skills to you. Alright, thanks a lot, and bye.